Now, as the smokes come out, will they help? The approach is happening right now.
Oh man, this gives me so much anxiety.
Wait, along with Wookie. Potatoes is the first one down, but it takes them all down!
1C4! Mayhem, take the point! Holy crap!
It's your man, Poon Anders, your Texas caster and hype master.
And your caster extraordinaire with its copper-toned hair. I'm Sleepy.
It's so lovely. It's so beautiful. Can we keep the energy up? Can we keep from going into newscaster voice? Well, you will be the first ones to find out if we could do that. So let's jump right into this. We have actually some intros that are straight up novels, and I'm going to do my best. So getting started, we're going to go to Game Fist versus the Newbies. Two of the newer teams to the league duked it out for our pleasure. And in our infinite generosity, we're going to share a taste of it with you. It's
Absolutely. Or should I say, Kettle One-a-lutely.
There you go.
Here we go. As we get into this one, we're on Suburbia. We've got Game Fist on the defense, and the Newbies trying to use some intense squad tactics here to get themselves up the middle stairwell on Suburbia. We'll see here. One will go down, and then the other is there immediately for the refrag, which does allow the Newbies to get.
Does that stairs approach hurt your heart a little bit? You're like, yeah, there's no way.
It's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. Then in our next one, Game Flist going to clear out the objective. And then as the last defender is pretty much stuck in the middle house with all the rest of the opponents he's yet to face, Excise comes in for a cap on the objective. Oh, man, just look at this. He cannot go anywhere. If he moves or shoots or does anything, he's pretty much screwed. But there he is, Excise getting the cap for his team. Now, in our last one, once again, we have Excise. He's going to go on a bit of a psychopathic killing here. He finds one. Now things are going to jump off. We can see you've got a member of the Newbies coming around on lane 4.
He knows he's there.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely heard the shots now. Is he going to go chasing? Doesn't look like it yet, but he's got so much going on around him. He could go either way and find something. There he is. He pops around the corner and finds Wake. Now let's see what else he's got stored up his sleeve. He's
surrounded.
He's surrounded. He's getting covered all over the place. The Newbies are looking and trying to find it, but they just cannot seem to get it done. Excise still looking for a kill. He finds another one. Finally, he's team killed by a member of his own team.
Gets him hopping up and down. Stuff that we like to see. This is why I like watching new players play, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because it can be exciting again. Well, I mean, it's exciting to watch the top players play, but you get to see people do stuff that, is so tight at the high end that you don't get to see a lot of, like, the fun, silly stuff. And especially those altercations around the building, like at the top level, that stuff gets shut down so fast. Oh, man. Or like that stairs approach where he was able to find that hole and toss his grenade there, and I was like, you cannot stand in that space. At the gold level tier, there's no way in hell you can stand there. And live. Man. Yeah. Still, it's good stuff, man. I love every time we get new players to the league, watching them get better, watching them grow up. It's fantastic. Game Fist or Game Flist wins the series 12-7. I mean 12-6. We're firing on all cylinders today. The Five Horsemen versus the Hand of Death.
All 7 cylinders, right?
Novel incoming. So enjoy yourself as I sit back and read this written to us by our glorious team captains of the Five Horsemen. So the Five Horsemen, also known as the Comeback Kings, rode to an extremely close victory against the Hand of Death. After riding high on their 2 weeks of victories, the Five Horses thought it would be it would play a boring game. They would play a little bit of a boring game against a lower level team in the rankings just to see what would happen. They were wrong. They bit off a little more than they could chew. The Hand of Death utterly destroyed them on Subway. Other than a sweet C4 by Raz that took out 3 on a northern push, the Hand of Death was the first team to take a map 4-0, and in 3 rounds against Five Horsemen. So, they got that cap in there. In the second round of Quarantine, the Five Horsemen had 5 unanswered points against them. And this would be where they had turned it around. Blow for blow, each team took Volk rounds and brought it to a decider. The Horsemen would need to take their first offense round of the series, and down to 3 Horsies versus 2 Deathies. as they're called professionally, Enigma threw a smoke so hard his computer kicked him from the lobby, which does happen. If you violate the laws of Lorentz and barriers, it will do that. You will get kicked. That's cheating. But a perfect smoke from Trade-In allowed Raz to move into position, and he killed the last 2 Volk. There would be a third map to decide this series, obviously, since we had 1-1 back and forth now. And this time, the 5 Horsemen had to hand a 4-0 back to the hand of death. With great coordination, they took the map 4-0. Yes, great handwork over there. With Box Toys getting the last kill on a valiant Urban Ghost who claims, using air quotes here, to have broken his arm. All in all, one of the best matchups for the Horsemen this season, and they are looking forward to rematch with the Hand of Death. We've got a couple of clips here. Let's take a look. A gander. A sneak peek.
Approximately. We will get into these clips now at this point. Now on this first one, we're going to see a subway, as you can see. Urban Ghost downstairs. He's really popping off right now. And we're going to see Raz from the 5 Horsemen going to try and hold.
Oh, no!
And there he does. The C4 planted on the ceiling of the subway. Gonna manage to take down. I believe
you got to look up.
A total of 3. And that's the one you talked about a little bit ago in that recap.
Yeah, you got to look up, right? You got to look up.
You do now. You do nowadays. I'll tell you what, especially on Subway, man, they're planting those things on the ceilings. You're not so used to.
That's the only way you're going to be able to defend that point, because that's the easy one to take. So put it on the ceiling.
That's very true. In our next clip, though, we moved on to Bazaar, where Raz is going to pull down a pretty impressive play here at the end. He finds Remmer G right on the objective. Now he knows that there's going to be a rotation coming soon, and he finds it.
That
he gets
tasty.
on the ban, and on a rotation, keeping the 5 Horsemen in the series and going to the map 3 decider.
That was a tasty pick, because that guy had him dead to rights. He had it lined up, knew where he was, and he was like, and he said, it's such a small spot in that building. This guy's got a nice wide open field to see him. I did not expect that interchange at all. Absolutely fantastic. The 5 Horsemen win the series 8-7. Close on the point line, not so much on the maps, as you heard from the novel write-up. Only Quarantine Day was real close. Moving on to the Calleros versus Lords of War. Another glorious novel incoming with absolutely no clips. So enjoy this write-up by the Calleros. The Calleros battled friendly rivals, Lords of War, in this epic match, whilst the Lords of War, whilst is also fun to say, took the first map, Downfall. We brought it back on Suburbia to tie up the match and maps, they say. Then they they made a grave mistake by defying their captain, Vivian. Always listen to Vivian. We all know this. Whilst she was out with an injury, and they picked Tanker, leading to their defeat. As Vivian said, I told you so. Nevertheless, they had a great deal of fun trying out some new plays and dominating on Suburbia, showing the rest of the league that they're not to be messed with. You give them an inch, and they will take a mile or more, and then ask for even more. So the write-up of highlights I have, Pink and Olivio tried something new and gave false callouts to trip up Marsoc after losing the other 3 members of their team in the middle house objective on Suburbia. I have noticed that our female players are really good at counterintelligence.
Oh, yeah, they play the PsyOps game very well.
I love that. I still love that move, that Pink move. It's just like, I dropped my gun.
Yeah, that one, and there's another one that I love Pink for, which is when she goes to stab someone, she's like, let's be friends! And she pulls out her knife and stabs you, and then just laughs maniacally over your body as you either fade out and your audio fades from your headset or what. But yeah,
her and Noman are quite the pair. They also included highlights like from this counterintelligence. Get them, Matt. We got 3 upstairs. Flank them. To see if they'd believe that, and it turns out they did. They did this when there was only 2 left, and both were upstairs. And all right, Fenno, they're downstairs and crossing the porch. Fenno was already dead. These callouts were quite successful. Tia, Matt, and Fenno all tried some plays with numerous things going well. They're always trying new tactics on the Calleros and having fun while doing it. Hashtag wildcard murder. Murder! Yes, exactly. Lovely to watch them play. Lords of War did win that series 11-6 with the Calleros only taking the center map Suburbia Day. But it is great to watch them play better week over week, season over season, this being their second season, and them figuring out new tactics. I mean, if they really get super good at those PsyOps, that's going to work its way into the meta, and the people are going to complain about open comms, and it's going to be all kinds of fun. And then the casters are going to have they'll be able to get a break from talking. There's all right, let's see what kind of lies they're kicking out here.
Oh, goodness gracious. No, yeah. There will never be open comms on cast because the players will never. I would love it because it's kind of like those NFL huddle mics that they use nowadays, right? Where they I guess they're not the huddle mics because they don't ever want to give you that sort of info, but when they do the line mics and you can hear the guys on the line calling stuff out, I think that's really cool, and I would love to see it and do it in our cast, but I know teams are very, very secretive about how they communicate. They have code words.
I would think
they don't want people to know.
I would think that instead, what those guys could do, if they could be convinced to do this, is you know what? Let's just play a different game, and you just come up with completely different terminology in a different game where it doesn't matter. We just want to hear you guys communicate. Because we've been able to see that with Onward players in general, that they don't suffer from the same problem that you have in a lot of esports games, where if you change one or two members of the team, that it becomes a real detriment for the team. And that's because at the upper levels in Onward, everyone is so good at communication and understanding what their job is that you can change people up on the team and not have a massive problem, so to speak.
The cohesion of the team is more of an issue at that point than the actual individual skill base of the player itself.
Most communication of the players, is just rock solid.
You're typically not going to pick up somebody who's a couple of leagues below you in skill. I mean, you might if you see potential. I'm not saying it won't happen, but with the teams at the top, they have to have that cohesion, and I think Global Chem will stamp of approval all over that because they're one of the ones who know that best of all.
They're best friends. They have sleepovers every weekend. It's absolutely true. Moving on to Riot versus Mr. Nice Guys, another novel with no clips incoming. Stay tuned; it'll be fun. Or skip; it doesn't matter. Some crazy stuff happened according to Riot. Turbo got so mad he turned green and started jumping around the map from building to building on Bazaar. It happens. Xandria spawned in a suit of armor and started flying around the maps. Boy, y'all got lots of hacks going on here. Raka brought his bow and arrow and just went to town with that. Now, I don't think they're playing the same game. TFH came with the shield, and he started throwing the shield around everywhere because the shield is OP when you throw it. Snooper brought an LMG and started climbing on walls to get to positions almost as if he was a spider. I feel like this is totally a put-on. Unseen brought a hammer that literally shocked me. Ronnie P started messing with the space-time continuum. This was written by TFH, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Apparently, you could do that for Onward, as this recap wasn't absurd enough. Wes brought this glove, and the team kills half of us. All Avenger jokes aside, it was a fun game, this team. Will be a team to look out for next season. Also, Todd will not be elaborating anymore because he has a paper to write and does not feel like writing a recap. Riot win the series 13-0.
Hence why he's casting right now.
Avenger style. Moving on to Legionnaires took on Space Force in a battle between the past and the future to see who would take home the victory in the present. But that's all history now.
I'm confused. Anyways, Legionnaires are going to be up in our first clip here, and they're going to come back from a 2-0 deficit with a nicely played cap here on this ambulance objective. You can see just coming onto the screen now, Kagan making his way over to the objective. Meanwhile, Space Force's only defender is being completely distracted by the team members in the tank courtyard. You see it there. And meanwhile, while that's going on, Kagan over there on the cap manages to get it and go up 2-2 on the round.
Yes, well, will have been the greatest match of the play.
I don't even know if I could say what you just said. Then, in the aftermath of a fatal woke-off, Diesel gets right up in Raider's face and puts a nice little knife in his back for the ultimate insult.
Yeah, speaking of aftermath from that woke-off, let's just see the opening of that clip just one more time in case you missed it. Just bodies all on the field, just littered.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the
Woke floor. Olympics are brutal, man. You really got to be careful with that stuff. Everybody ends up maimed, especially with the knife there at the end. Legionnaires win the series 12-5. Moving on to some of our new guys. Next up, we've got Phantoms, and they were the bomb, as they exploded all over V-Reality in an exhibitionist display that was in dire need of some pixelization.
All right, now in our first clip, we're here on Downfall, and in a bit of confusion from one of our newer teams, V-Reality. They actually take down their own defender there in the Volk headquarters, the two-story objective building there in the northwest, allowing for Nuclear of Phantoms to make his way inside and pretty much go completely untested in order to get
the Wi-Fi signal works inside the building. Don't let them in.
It sure does. Those walls do not have lead lining, so that signal does escape. Then in our second clip here, we have Deadshot, who we'll see in just a moment as our cameraman pans over, is going to chuck a nice grenade from the North Road. It's actually going to catch a little skip bounce at a jump, hit the curb, and take down Nuclear on the South Street by the tanks.
How is that not Nade of the Week?
That's Nade of the Week in my book, unless you count C4 as Nade.
True.
Deadshot going to come in here to save the day once again. He's really doing a lot for this team. Virality making their waves here in the VRML so far as a new team. He's going to save the day after two of his own teams go down to the aggressive push from Phantoms. He'll find Nuclear, but then you'll see that Hard Keko is going to rush out for the objective. You can see him there pushing out. Now you see the shots ringing in from the Tracers, but
he's there.
Deadshot is going to know he's going to come around the corner, and here we go, the game-winning kill. Well, not the game-winning kill, but the cap-saving kill.
He had all day to get that cap. That must have just been nerves, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, Phantoms are also a newer team as well, so, we can give them a break there. And here again, we're going to see Nuclear once again getting right up here and getting the objective. And he's just sneaky, man. That Nuclear, those Phantoms, I don't know if it's because they're ghostly or what, or they're otherworldly, but they are sneaky. And he gets the cap, and they take the map 4-0.
Well, they're so quiet because they play with ball gags in. That's actually part of their new meta that they're trying out. I'm just kidding. Phantoms win the series 12-1. I love watching our new teams play and get better at the game. We're only lightly teasing you guys. We absolutely love watching you guys play and improve season over season. Speaking of improvements, Blaze versus Boss Fight in a battle for the ages. Blaze was slow to burn, but once the fire got roaring, Boss Fight felt the heat. Let's take a look.
That's right, Poodanners, and with Boss Fight in the lead on map 1, Blaze is going to get very aggressive here for this push. This will also apparently begin the start of a Scooby team kill montage over the course of I'm assuming the match, because I don't see a whole lot of his team killing here. You see him doing a lot of killing, in fact. Viper takes down Scooby-Doo. Blaze just go in all hands on deck. They're rushing this objective out.
Kettle one Lootly.
Kettle one Lootly. Smeared off a Lootly. Viper finds a pick onto Cryocell. Things are just going all over the place.
Viper scrambling, looting that body.
But Blaze are going to get a massive comeback here on map 1 to end up taking it and then moving on to clinching the series.
Let's move on to the next one then.
Absolutely. Now, and this one we're going to see a wonderfully beautiful nade from Radarhead. Unfortunately for Radarhead, it's going to find the wrong team. You'll see it coming in off screen there. It falls down between the pipes, a little plinkety-dink, before it drops down and airbursts right over top of Scooby-Doo's head. And Scooby is dead.
Scooby's like their ace, too. You don't want to lose that guy.
Yeah, he is definitely clutch. He's their battlefield tactician as well, leading the team on the field. Time is running out on this one as Viper gets on objective with 11 seconds to go, but Squigookin, with the forethought enough to rush around the corner, manages to find him and stay alive as Blaze take the round by timeout.
That was tasty.
5-minute rounds. Hashtag fight me. Then in our next video here, we have Noman, who's going to use knock-knock jokes to distract as Squigookin actually goes through the cap and Silent Night covers. However, things get a little bit hectic and Noman's going to actually be forced to kind of make a decision here.
Did he actually use knock-knock jokes? Should we go back and listen to that audio?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to hear it from the angle that we see on the spectator, but I mean, I'm not against it if you feel like doing it.
All right, I'm going to try that then. Because, if there's knock-knock jokes, I want to hear them.
And thus to objective.
Also, Noman's hilarious.
Noman's going to come in off the left side of your screen there, so we'll see if we can't hear anything.
Hold up.
Noman.
He's like, hello, we'd like to catch this objective, please. Okay. I guess that's all there was to that. But still, it was worth giving it a listen. I wanted to see what the knock-knock jokes were about. That's classic Noman, though. That's pretty funny. Like, Noman does a lot of this. It's so funny. Him and Pink, they're such a good pair. But how he'll be very nice and kind of funny and goofy, but then he has this look on his face. You're just like, all right, there's something else going on here. What's up? What am I not catching? Blaze wins the series 10-8, taking down Boss Fight.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get them too high on the leaderboard, but still, those are much needed MMR right there.
Well, they've had a rough season though as well. So they've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs this season. They haven't had a very consistent season, so they've been kind of climbing back for the last few weeks now. So it did help them.
It'd be like SMC Tactical was like a season back, where like just a rebuilding season.
Yeah. It actually kind of reminds me a lot of how SMC was last season as far as with their inconsistency on the field.
Yeah, but they always come back. I mean, we saw the return of Viper, we saw the return of Radar Head. So the old guard are coming back in. You have to rejigger the team a little bit, but I think they'll get there. Moving on to another incredible match that everyone was ready to see. This is right up by SMC Tactical, a very short novel incoming, but we have plenty of clips, so let's get right into it. After their close-fought loss against Global Kim last week, SMC were ready for their next challenge. Danglers looked pretty confident as they banned 0 maps, but that's also, that's their tradition. They believe real men don't ban. And they chose Tanker for their first map. After showing the Danglers how SMC does Tangler, SMC picked Cargo, only giving up 1 point after 7 unanswered points. Finally, the Danglers went to Suburbia and had a few clutch plays from SMC later in the series. Then it was over. Total time for the whole game was 1 hour. So if you want to watch a match, an action-packed video on demand, VOD, as the kids say, was the VOD POG. I don't know. Am I using that right, kids, fellow children? But don't have a lot of time. We highly recommend watching this one. But we have ourselves about, I think, 4 clips from this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful work.
Yes. Now, don't get confused, folks. I know a lot of people lately think TFH's voice is mine, but let's be real, mine is much sexier. Anyways, Landon's going to rush the objective to find a kill and comes across almost face-to-face with Rushers. Rushers just kind of managing to stay out of the kill zone there. As you can see, Ponecake taking down Rushers' support in Riboman. Now Landon's going to push out, and once again, Rushers will rotate, but not enough, too quick, too fast. The train comes out, and SMC take
and he just rolls it off. Just rolls it off.
Just roll it off, brother. Just roll it off. You'll be fine. Next clip, Danglers are looking really good one round of Cargo. They have taken down 2 members of SMC already, making it a 5v3. However, SMC comes in with some explosive aggression and turns the tide, showing that small maps are their maps. Everybody kill Ponecake. Yeah.
They were mad.
They were mad. That's right. Now, Stumpy is going to be able to get a pick here onto Beefy in this next clip. You'll see those 2 right here, the opposite sides of the...
that sucks. Oh, I would totally blind fire that one.
Yeah. So Stumpy's going to get that kill, and then he's going to toss a C4, but unfortunately for him, it didn't quite get far enough away from him, and he takes out himself as well.
But Executioner was able to get Edna with that second C4, so at least it worked out.
That's right.
Let's check out this sounded video. Very brief.
Yes, it's very brief.
Oops. Oh, I love that. He just picks up the detonator and it goes off. It's like, oh, that was right there. Who picks up a detonator and pulls the trigger, man? Anyway, SMC Tactical win the series 12-3. Beautiful work.
The problem with it is it wouldn't be so much that he picked up the detonator and clicked it. It's that he didn't even bother to look around him at all. I
was like, oh, button, press the button. You know how it is when you see a beautiful trigger like that. A normal person, if they picked up that device, they'd pull the trigger not thinking they were going to blow themselves up. Granted, he is playing Onward. He should know better, but it is what it is. Speaking of people who should know better, Mayhem versus Sinister Prime. So this is another, if I remember correctly, massive write-up. But we got ourselves some beautiful clips as well.
We do. Yes.
So Mayhem picked out the first map, Downfall. As is tradition, Mayhem kicked off the series, losing the first round. But then proceeded to win round 2 in a strong defensive victory that ended with all 5 players of Mayhem still alive. The hits just kept on rolling in round 3 against Sinister Pride. Thanks to a well-orchestrated cap by Naoko for Team Mayhem. Mayhem proceeded to win the very next round and close out Downfall with a final score of 4-1. Where's the hands? We're together. Oh, 4-1. I was doing 5. Okay. Anyway, Mayhem. So Sinister Pride opted on the next map to start on Volk and conceded the map pick to Mayhem, who picked Subway. Oh, why? After some strong opening plays, Mayhem were able to secure a round 1 win victory. For round 2, Sinister Pride opted to try out a new tactic to approach the objective with all 5 of them moving down the stairwell together. Very risky move. They did it even as a tight group. They weren't clumping. They were sticking to each other, like trying to put everyone inside the same person. Wookiee, after a quick peek to see who was there, triggered the trap, which we will see, and it's brutal. His perfectly placed C4 took all of them out. 1 squeeze, 5 deaths. An Onward VR Master League first. And now everyone is going to learn on those stairs to look up. Round 3 started with a flurry of kills and trades with Mayhem, using a shield team to push the northern stairs. There's a whole team of bus drivers. Once the smoke settled, Once the smoke settled, there was only 1 member of the team remaining. Fortunately for Mayhem, this was Technic, who carefully approached the objective and sent the code under the nose of the unsuspecting defender. A solid 4-0 victory for Subway. Now, moving on to map 3, which was played on Quarantine, there was a roster mix-up that resulted in most of the map being played as a 4v4. Very weird for league play, but it does happen. There were some good plays on both teams, but eventually Mayhem took the map win, resulting in a series 3-0 victory and a final map score of 12-3. Which, I say again later, and I will. Good game to Sinister Pride for this epic game, as written by the other team. MVP goes to Technic for that clutch cap on Subway to win the series. Big thanks to Mayhem and to Nyoko for filling in.
From Mayhem to Nyoko.
From Nyoko. That's so hard. Anyway, he said thank you.
Yes, they said thanks. That's the message we need to convey here.
Kettle One.
Anyways.
Belvedere Lutely.
Sirakalutely.
There you go.
A well-executed play by Mayhem sees Naoko, who again is a reservist for them in this matchup, creeping towards the objective with Wookiee on the overwatch. Wookiee manages to down Nullus on the objective, and Naoko just types in the code without a care in the world. He doesn't have to worry about a thing. No one's nearby. Ostentatious does manage to find a Wookiee before it's all over, but it doesn't matter. Naoko gets 2
here it is.
Mayhem. And here we go. You saw it at the top of the show, but here it is again. 1 C4 to rule them all. 1 C4 to bind them. 1 C4 to lure them all. 1 C4 to bind them. And bam, 1 C4, all 5 teams.
And like a trailing grenade gets them.
Over. Yeah, they tossed an aid down, or they dropped an aid, which ended up exploding to kill him. But you know what?
Let's watch that again. It's just too good. This is the clip y'all need to have
6 times, folks. So go ahead and get comfy.
I know. Well, we were talking about adding some more, some automatic clips to upload for you guys to be able to use when you're doing your intermission. And I was like, y'all should just collect the best clips of the game and just have a running tally of that, like really short stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. This one goes from fast to slow as Flying Potatoes finds Naoko. Then Wookiee is immediately on the refrag. Then he takes the shield, and Defilade gives him an in-round refresher on how to use the shield. Defilade just calls out movement commands, and Wookiee responds perfectly, letting Defilade get Nullus and Ostentatious here before they go down to a grenade.
I like this advance.
Yeah, it's some killer teamwork. I mean, you really need to learn how to utilize a nice 2-man team when you're running a shield.
Someone's got to beat on them, though.
Back up. Yeah, you got it. You got to try. They're trying to look. The defenders are staying actually pretty tucked back here. They're playing it pretty safe, not being too exposed, which, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but here comes the nade. It's going to plink right out.
on the rail.
Defilade, yeah, I know that one was unfortunate. But, I mean, the shield would have stopped it anyways. Defilade will find 2 there.
Oh!
Another grenade, which I don't even know where that came from because I didn't see the arc. Yeah.
Oh, the grenade came out by this Coke machine. See the dead guy by the Coke machine?
No. Yeah, I know, but the one that just killed Defilade, where did it come from?
I don't know. I would watch it again, but it's 60 seconds long.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Mayhem wins the series 12-3. We have some stuff to say about the new teams, right? Right, Sleepy?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, we were hoping to get some more clips from some of those new teams, but in reality, if anything, all we want to do is welcome these folks to the league. We've got VRML, S13, I believe is their actual full name, Mr. Nice Guys. We have the Newbies, Game Fist, Firestorm, Unnamed Fume, and this absolutely creative team name of Team.
Team.
VRML.
Team.
Yeah, team. I love the word team.
Yes.
You can't work as a team, you'll all be fired.
Yes, this guy gets it.
If any of you have watched the IT crowd, you know what I'm talking about. But V-Reality is definitely learning from their mistakes early on. They even hit up Trip after watching back their cast to discuss with him some of the things that he noticed during the game. And that's some great work. And I mean, definitely feel free to do that with casts. I mean, the only way you're going to learn is to watch back that tape and really try and dissect what went wrong, what went right. But either way, we want to thank them all for joining the league. We hope you guys stick around. It's going to be a little tough going at first, but I promise if you put in the time and you stick with it, it will get better and the wins will start coming and you'll really start to enjoy the competitive atmosphere of the VRML. So welcome to all the new teams and welcome to any future new teams that might be coming around the corner.
Oh, so make sure to drink your Ovaltine. Actually, it's funny that you brought that up with the IT crowd. So, like, I live in Houston. The Astros are in the World Series right now against a wild card team, the Nationals. And the last night they got beat, like, I think it was 12-2 or 12-4. They got roasted at home. The Astros did. Didn't
they also put like 14 runs on a first inning against the Yankees in one of their?
They did that,
games?
but that's about like that's about the Nationals. The Nationals roasted the Astros in Game 2 of the World Series. And my only response to, because I don't really watch it, I just think it shows up in the news feed. So my response to that one was just to post Moss saying, "Did you catch that ludicrous display last night?" It's like fellow sports people. Vivian from the Hive actually has an interview with Globochem. We just weren't able to get a clip from it to be able to show during the show, but we will have it in the description below, and hopefully we'll be able to stick it on that end card for you as well, so you'll be able to catch that full interview. It's with Globochem, and here it is, very highly entertaining and worth watching. Let's take a look at how this has affected the standings. The usual suspects are sitting on top of the board, but SMC Tactical grasping that number 3 spot, working really hard. G-Men in number 4, Danglers falling down to 5. Vikings, Mayhem, and Blaze just duking it out for those next 3 spots, with Rome climbing up to 9. Don't really see them in the top 11 usually. Animal House still holding into the top 11, and Silent Purge as well.
Hold on. Can we stop and look at how many games Rome has played, though? They have played 21 flupping games this season.
Have they figured out how to game MMR?
No, I mean, because realistically, it's still based on win-loss. So as you can see, they're only...
Blaze played 18, though. It's not too bad.
No. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely teams that are playing a lot, but 21 is insane.
You know, it's actually funny when you look at their win-loss ratio between Blaze and Rome. It looks like what they're doing is like, hey, you know what? And Animal House. It looks like they're saying, hey, why waste time scrimming when we can also make this a match?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Well, some of the top teams won't scrim.
The problem is the challenge. Well, no, it's also because the challenge is limited to a specific range within MMR, above and below. So you only have typically between like 3 and 4 teams within challenge range. So you can't just throw together a match.
But you got to play somebody better than you, though, right?
Yeah, the best way is to beat someone better than you or higher ranked than you. I shouldn't say better than you because there are.
I imagine as a challenge match, like I'm sure you're not challenging somebody lower than you. You don't pick up a lot of MMR from that, do you?
No, it's minuscule. I mean, even with a blowout, it's not a very up, so it's not worth it. Yeah, it's definitely better to challenge up than challenge down.
Yes, always punch up, guys. Everybody should learn that from
punch up like Sleepy does in his relationships.
Sleepy punch up. Sleepy does punch up. It's true. All right, well, that is it for us. Thanks to all our players and viewers for supporting the show. Show us some love in the comments, get a conversation going, as this helps the show rank up and get more exposure to people who don't know about the league.
That's right, and keep those clips coming, folks. Even if your match goes uncasted, you can always send us POV clips, so long as they're framed well. Otherwise, we'd love to see more clips from those new teams especially, so make sure you guys are getting those to us, and of course, we'll hopefully try and pick up some casts on those sooner or later.
Again, I am Poonenders, joined by VRML mod, caster, and former ufologist, Sleepy.
Oh, I thought I was an astronaut. Anyways, that's right. This show is brought to you by VRespawn.com, your only source for VR esports news. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on Twitter to stay up to date. Click that bell so you know every time our videos go live. You get a little dingling on your phone or on your workstation, whatever you happen to be watching on. But make sure you do that for us.
Yeah, so this episode was written by Trip with the help of our team captains. I think Buxton actually helped out a little bit there, too. All praise on the Trip. He suffers at the keyboard, so we don't have to. Sleepy, you got the last word, man. Send us home.
All right, well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe. We've got a lot more action to bring you next week, so we'll see you all then. Good night, everybody.